Hi folks, Steven here. So we are going to be today doing yet another Pokemon Go Community Day recap. Of course, today was the Oshawott Community Day. So the third of the Gen 5 starters to get a Community Day. Of course, earlier this year we had Snivy Community Day, and we had Tepig Community Day. So those were earlier, so now we're getting through Oshawott. So okay, so as usual, we're also going to be covering some music-related news. There was actually quite a bit in the last week or two, and some other stuff. But as usual, I am going to go straight into my presentation. Remember, if you have any comments on any of this, go ahead and type those into the chat. I will try and get to those later in the discussion. We always appreciate that. Alright, so before we even get to Community Day proper, of course, earlier this week they had Raid Day, which is always on Wednesday. Let's see, last week, in other words, the week before this one, I know they had Lugia, but this week they had Azelf, one of the Lake Trio Pokemon. Not sure where Mesprit and Uxie are going to come into play here if they've already come out there. But you can see I was very fortunate on Wednesday to be able to get several of them, actually, which is pretty nice. I got 2 or 3 of them, I think. So that's a new addition to my Pokédex, so getting closer to completing Gen 4, although you can see there towards the end I have still a fair ways to go in that, but I did want to mention that. Alright, Community Day weather. So of course last month we had a 2-day Eevee Community Day, where we had some very pleasant weather. Had a high of 80 both days, low in the low 50s back in August. So you'd think a month later, September, would be cooler, but as luck of the draw would have it, today was definitely not cooler. Actually, it was kind of abnormally warm. Your high today was in the upper 80s to around 90, depending on where you were in the area, so that can be pretty nasty. This next week is going to be much more typical of late September in the temperature department, so that's good. But as usual, all these come from the National Weather Service. So, but definitely very warm today, even warmer than last time, which is a bit of a surprise. Alright, so as usual, we get a slate of bonuses for Oshawott Community Day, and these are true even if you don't buy the ticket, but a lot of Oshawott will appear in the wild, of course. Some surprise snapshot encounters. Let's see, oh, there's the ticket thing. Big thing with this one, 3x catch XP. Always love that one. Hope that's not a... I think they had that for what? Gosh, not Starly, but the bird from one of the later generations. Fletchinder or Fletchling also had that bonus. Incense duration is buffed, and also Rainy Lure modules, which I guess, I don't know how new those things are. I guess they've probably been around for a while, but I don't recall seeing them until I saw one today. So, event Pokemon attack track and the Rainy Lure module. Well, that wasn't a problem. So, yeah. Alright, as mentioned, and as usual, there is a ticket involved. So let's see, from Shallops to Scimitars is the name of this ticket. Of course, that's referring to some of the accessorizing that I guess the Oshawott line has. But as usual, it runs from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the extra time there, and 99 cents. So pretty typical there. Sure, I mean, there's from blank to blank is not an uncommon form. I'm not sure if they're referring to something. Sometimes it's usually like something early and then late in the alphabet. That doesn't seem to be what they're going for here. If there's a literary reference here, I think I may be vaguely aware of something, but oh well. As usual, there are some things in the shop. First of all, there is an Ultra Ball for free, 30 Ultra Balls, pretty good deal there. There's also a 1-coin event box, which is 5 Ultra Balls, a remote raid pass, and a revive. And then, of course, if you want to be a big spender, you can always get the Community Day box, which has 50 Ultra Balls, an Elite Fast TM, a Rainy Lure module, of course, and some lucky eggs. actually have personally not bought a Community Day box for a while. I have usually been pretty okay on Pokeballs for the most part. So, where do we go this time? Downtown Middleton. So for those of you who aren't aware of the Madison area, Middleton is part of what I like to call contiguous Madison. So you have the city of Madison, which represents has about 250,000 people here in Dane County, Wisconsin. Then you have another number of, I guess, suburbs or cities that are all contiguous more or less with the city. They're sort of packed into the core area there. Middleton is one of those. I'll probably be visiting some of the other ones like Fitchburg. I'm not sure. I guess Verona is more or less contiguous at this point. There's also the town of Madison, Monona, and I don't know where you put Sun Prairie these days. But in any case, we're up in Middleton, which is on the northwest side. It does directly border the city of Madison. They've grown right into each other. As you can see, I was in the downtown area where you can see City Hall in the top left there. They've also, for whatever reason, they have a British telephone booth. No phone in there, but they have the booth in their downtown area. There was also like a one of those palace guards from London. They have a statue or like a figure. I would say a statue, but it's actually all painted and stuff. Bottom left, you can see the Middleton Visitor Center. And then at the bottom center, you can see something that's not a Pokestop or gym, strangely enough. I don't know if it's ever been submitted or what, but the Mustard Museum, yes, believe it or not, Middleton downtown, one of its touristy attractions there is the National Mustard Museum. So I've never really been there. I'm not, to be honest, the biggest mustard aficionado, but if you are, that is the place to go. All right, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of what's in downtown Middleton. We'll be talking about some other places in the general vicinity. Let's see here. All right, so as usual, Professor Willow gives us a little bit of a scenario here. Let's see, the Sea Otter Pokemon. It has a Shallop, which is that little shell thing on, see, as far as Oshawott goes, it's right on its belly. And they use it as a blade and a weapon. And he seems to have noticed that a lot of marks on nearby trees and stuff like that. And you can see our first set of tasks this time, since it's not like a 2-day EV event or anything like that, very, very typical. You got to power up your Pokemon, you got to make some nice throws, and you got to catch a bunch of Oshawott, which is usually, and also this time, not too difficult because they're all around out there. Alright, so we do our usual regular versus shiny comparison. Shiny Oshawott, not the most different. Certainly compared to Eevee, there was a bigger difference. Eevee goes from brown to just basically an off-white. In this case, Oshawott goes from blue to a bit more blue. As you can see, it's all the blue parts are a little more blue there, and the nose goes from sort of a reddish-orange to more of a purpley red. So, not to I did have actually a really difficult time getting a shiny Oshawott. I didn't get some until actually after I had come back home after doing all the tasks for this one and taking care of some other things in Middleton. So it actually took me quite a while to I got a couple shinies, but it took a very long time for whatever reason. At least it's not like, I know a couple of years ago there was a Trapinch one where I never got a shiny. That was kind of disappointing. But this time we did get one, a couple actually. Also, speaking of Azelf, during the time there was a gym in downtown Middleton. We'll be talking a little bit about it, I think. But basically, I was able to capture another Azelf. I was able to get a couple people. There was one other person locally, and we invited a few folks, and we were able to take down that raid there, as you can see, in about 3/4 of the allotted time, which was pretty good there. So I managed to catch another Azelf. I've got quite a few of them at this point, so that's pretty cool. Alright, second set of tasks. Oshawott uses strict training to use its flowing double shallop technique. So yes, it has two. I believe there was one on each leg or something like that, or one on each hip. I forget exactly what it looks like. We'll see in a second. We do have to do the usual things here for a 3-stage Pokemon line. You have 15 more Oshawott, transfer 10 Pokemon, and finally evolve 3 Oshawott. We get some nice rewards for that. Now, I didn't have very many good Oshawott going in this. In fact, going in this, today was the first time I ever got any 3-star Oshawott. I think the one on the left is the first one I got. What's interesting is the location for these kind of varied depending on kind of where it was. Some of them said they were in Madison. Some of them said they were in Middleton. The one in the middle, that really surprised me. It says it's in Wanakee, which is on the north. It's about 5 or 10 miles off the north to the northeast of Madison, which is very strange. There's a little bit of distance between Wanakee and the city of Madison. Not a ton, but I don't know how it decided I was there. I don't know if my GPS was acting up or what there. But generally, my Pokemon I caught today, most of them I think said they came from Milton. But these were the 3 decent ones that I decided to evolve. And there you go. You have it kind of on its hips there for Oshawott. I'll spare you the NXS parody I wrote, Do What You Do. I'll spare you me singing that. But as you can see, that was a new Pokemon for me. I hadn't had yet to get those evolved forms. Alright, so let's see. So Professor Will being somewhat fairly honest here, I guess, talking about how he has trouble patting his head and rubbing his tummy. I suppose someone will be drawing that at this point. So it's very impressive. Impressed with the ability to have 2 of those little shells come out. But our next set of tasks, let's see, got to make those great curveball throws. Have to evolve a Oshawott and transfer more Pokemon. You may notice that this is not quite at the top of my things here. I was able to complete some more of I'm still working on the Meltan stuff tasks, and I was able to complete another round of those, so that bumps up to the top of the list when you do that there. And you notice that Misunderstood Mischief. Still waiting for the next stage on that one. Alright, well, as far as the Oshawott to evolve, I had a couple choices. I picked this one here. This is one you saw earlier as an Oshawott. It had fairly even stats, so it seemed like a good candidate. But went through the process there, so you start to evolve it. And yeah, so Samurott, also a new Pokemon on there for me. So I've got all the fully evolved starters from Gen 5 in Pokemon Go, so I'm pretty proud of that. And as you can see, you get the special attack Hydro Cannon, which I think is normally more associated with Blastoise. But here you get a Samurott that knows it. So pretty decent move there, although I'll have to really use it there. I did notice it seems like Samurott, I don't know if it was just the ones I had, their CP value was a little bit lower than what I might have expected there, but I'm not sure. Alright, and then we have the little wrap-up from Professor Willow. So, tell us a little bit about there. And of course, yes, that is the Scimitar, obviously a pun on scimitar. It's a type of sword there, so yes. And on the right, you get your usual bonuses at the end of the thing there. So let's see, including another Samurott, so now I have 2 of those. Alright, let's talk about some notable stops and gyms in the downtown Middleton area. The one on the left is one I had kind of questions about, is a cat statue, although I don't think I saw the statue. Maybe they took it inside or something, and it's not there. I couldn't even really tell. Is that like a photography and videography studio? I'm not even really sure if it's still there. But I tried to find anything online about it and couldn't really, so... Let's see, in the middle one is something called the Wolf House. It's a historic landmark. It was built in the 1868. Don't let the siding fool you. I assume they took a picture of the right house. But apparently it very nearly burned down, but they had to put wet carpets on the roof to do that. And it's been a family for about over 100 years at this point, which is pretty neat. And on the right we have the Milton D Depot. Basically speaking, there's a set of railroad tracks that runs through the city. They haven't had passenger service since like 1960. Haven't had a freight stop there since about 1971. So as much as I'd love to see, it'd be nice to have some commuter rail that went from here. It goes all the way into the city on that track. I'm not sure if it gets used for cargo these days or anything like that anymore. But if you went west on this line, it originally went all the way to Rapid City, South Dakota. So that's kind of interesting. Now I think it's used as sort of a community center or senior center or something of that nature right now. But basically, this is one of the things that's been around here for a while. So that's kind of a neat little touristy thing you can see down there. I also took care of some other things. I went to a restaurant that I often go to there called this is, by the way, not sponsored, the Hubbard Avenue Diner, and had some late lunch there. And a few other places, but that's kind of downtown Middleton. So let's take a look at this. Typical tasks. These are pretty much what you expect for your usual three-stage evolution line. I think Dust Skull is next month, so we should be getting the through there. So that'll be a little bit different because I believe that's a stone evolution to Dust Noir. Better curveball luck. So I almost got all three great curveballs on the same Pokemon. I got 3 curveballs in a row, but the third one wasn't inside the crate range. Larger spin radius is back. So like last month when we did Eevee, they had taken that away and they brought that back either late August or early September, and now you get the expanded range, which was really nice. Because it was so high, I didn't have to run around everywhere. It was nice to not have to do that thing. So I'm really glad that Niantic brought that back. And speaking of how hot it was, I did make a point to do a better job of hydrating myself while I was there. Even though last month when I went to the lake shore, Lake Mendota on day 2, even though it wasn't as warm as it was today, I feel like I got a lot hotter there. All right. Well, so that kind of takes care of things here. Obviously, like I said, next month should be Dust Skull. Kind of a semi-obvious pick for October. Hopefully, well, I doubt it'll be 90, although you never know. It could be above average and into the 70s in October. You never know. See how the rest of the fall goes. I think the spring and fall are getting shorter as time goes on. Alright, well, we do have some other news to go through. Let's see. So they announced a ton of stuff within the last week or so. First off, Pokemon 25, the album. You know, they've been doing the Pokemon 25 music. That started with the Post Malone Always Want to Be With You cover. Or Only Want to Be With You, sorry. And sort of went on to the Katy Perry and other stuff there. Well, they finally announced the album. It's going to have those tracks that have already been released, plus 5 new ones. It's going to have Phases, Believing, Ten, Cuidado, I'm not sure if I got that right at all, Art Show, and Reconnect. It's going to be released digitally and on CD. There's a special deluxe version of the CD at Target, although the CD edition, regardless, only has 10 tracks. My guess on that is they either considered or might consider in the future putting this on vinyl, in which case they would not have been able to put the tracks that aren't included are, let's see, Reconnect by Yaffle is not on the CD version, and then there's also some remixes that were on the Blue EP that are not on there. On the CD version, they're only on the digital version. Like I said, my guess is they would have either had to put in like a second disc or something weird like that. So that's my guess as to why only the 10 tracks are on the CD. I don't know for certain that they are doing a vinyl version of it. I haven't heard anything about that. That would be kind of neat. But they may have at least considered it at some point, and that would explain it, because vinyl has less effective duration than that, and they might have to shorten some of that up. In any case, it releases on October 15th, so that's the third Friday of the month. Wasn't the only music news, though. Yeah, we've got a bunch of other stuff that released within the last week or so. We have the Secrets of the Jungle EP. I'm kind of waiting until the movie to hear some of those songs, so I'm going to wait on getting this EP until then, probably. There's also the Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution EP, so it's got the theme from the opening sequence and then Keep Evolving. My very mixed feelings on the music of Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution are well known. There's also Journey to Your Heart, which is the opening theme from Pokemon Master Journeys, which is the second set of Journeys, second year of Journeys episodes. That last one is like only 30 seconds, so I haven't, to be honest, since I haven't gotten to those episodes yet, I haven't bothered to listen to that one either. But those are all out there for streaming and digital downloads, so you can certainly take a look at that. Secrets of the Jungle, huh? Well, So yes, we did get some news about that one here. So it looks like that's going to release on Netflix on October 8th. My personal guess is that at some point, I mean, Netflix used to do, pre-pandemic, theatrical releases of some of their movies, and has tried to get them out there. I'm guessing they or the Pokemon Company got tired of waiting either for the pandemic to subside or for a pediatric vaccine to come out, and thus they wanted to get this movie out one way or the other, so it is coming straight to Netflix next month, like I said, October 8th. As for a discussion, since there is going to be plenty of music to discuss with this one, we know that there's that EP there. I wouldn't be surprised some of the other Pokemon 25 songs made more minor appearances in the movie. I'm not entirely sure what's going to go on with that one, but we'll see. I am working with Anne. Our next discussion was planned to be the deconstructed or deconstructing Pokemon songs, where we take out the vocals and listen to the background elements. I do not know what scheduling will happen with that. I'm still waiting to hear back from her. But I am hoping we do a discussion on this movie probably the weekend after, so the weekend of the 15th. So it's going to be kind of busy for us, and since Anne has a rather hectic work schedule, it might take us a little time to get that back. We'll try and get that down. In the meantime, though, as far as the movie itself, there is a new trailer out. I'm interested in it, and I certainly will watch it to see what happens. Alright, well, a few updates on the Pokecasters Network. Now, earlier this month, I did put out a new episode. It's our Pokemon Dash discussion. But as far as other shows in the network, Poke Science, Sinnoh's Missing Pokemon. So they're sort of inferring some things based on the Arceus trailer. And also the, let's see, and comparing that to Diamond and Pearl as we know them. So we got Critical Hitmonlee 47, the League Council. Welcome to World of Pokemon, Episode 60, Poliwag. And not a scratch, the Arc Zero, not Arc O, Arc Zero summary episode. So yeah, so those are some of the more recent episodes from various shows in the network. Alright, well, so that was quite a bit of material there. So hopefully that all went through okay for you. If you have any comments, let's see here. I don't see anything in the chat, but if you do have any comments on any of this, please let us know. We'll try to work that into a future discussion. Until then, thanks for watching.